Hey guys, I'm here with an update to a video that I made a few days ago. I asked you guys for prayer for two friends, Penny and Dorothy. Penny is somebody that I met through doing YouTube, and Dorothy is somebody that I knew before YouTube. So I'm here to give you guys a report. Sadly, Dorothy has passed away today.
You're watching the Bear Pantry Show.
Hello people, Joe here. As you can see, I'm sitting here in my lawn chair, the first one I ever made. I mean, it's not all that, but you know, we do the job. Bob took a little absence out for a little while because he went down there and see who making that noise with the lawnmower. So she'll be back in a little while, folks. And for me now, I'm sitting here getting sleepy. You know, sitting here in the great. Is it over there? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I didn't even think anybody had lawns anymore to mow. You guys, just bear with us with the lawnmower. It's not a big lawn. Did you do the intro already?
Yeah.
Alright guys, I want to talk. First of all, I don't have any updates on Penny for this video, but I'll find something out and come back and let you guys know, okay? But I want to talk about our friend Dorothy. She just turned 81 on March the 29th, 2023. I met her back in 2002. I met her first before Joe did because we had our business in Unit 217 and she was in Unit 222. And I needed a desk, like an office desk. And somebody told me to go to her unit and she would have one. So I went over there and that first time met her daughter. She was in the front office. And I said, the young lady was on the phone. She's like my age, right? This is like 2 years younger than I am.
How about that?
She was on the phone, and I said, I'm here about a computer, not a computer, at the office desk. And then she says, that's my mom's stuff. Go in the other office. So I went in the other office. I'm going to put my glasses off and on as I need to. I went in the office, and I saw this little short lady. I don't think she was more than 4'11". And she was dressed up in her little African garb and stuff, and she had like a happy-go-lucky way about her. And I said, I'm here about a computer desk, and she goes, oh, I don't have any right now. I do get them in from time to time. And when I get one, I can, come get you. Where are you located? I'm like, I'm in 217. And so I asked her what she did there, and she said she had a ministry, and she was doing those brown paper bags, with the groceries. So at that time they were like, it was for a donation of like a couple bucks, right, Joe? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, every Friday I'm down there getting my brown paper bag. That's why I tell you guys, when I started the Bear Pantry Show, it's because I truly had a bear pantry, because we had just opened our business, and when you first open a business, it's not all that a bag of chips, right? And so I would go there for those bags, and I would get those pinto beans and tomato sauce and different canned goods, and then also the bread. I went there for the bread, right, babe? Yeah. They always had good bread. So I would go every Friday. There would be a long line, around the building with people waiting to get in. And because I was right next door, I would sneak in. I would cut the line and sneak in. And she would have like a little service for 15 minutes. And it wasn't like preachy, right? I liked her approach to teaching the scripture, because she doesn't get preachy. She just gets in there and tells the story from the stories from the Bible, very everyday like, and funny and stuff like that, and stuff that you could remember. Because I remember she told the story about blind Bartimaeus. And apparently back in the olden days, in the Bible days, when you had something wrong with you, like blindness and stuff, you had to wear like a cape, right? Or like a hoodie. And that will let people know that you are in need. And so when Jesus went by, blind Bartimaeus threw off his cape. I didn't even realize the story said that, right? He threw off his cape before he got his healing, which was important, according to Lady Dorothy. That was important because that meant he had faith enough to know that he was going to get his healing. And so she came with a little hoodie, little red hood, a little red cape, and she threw it off in the middle of the story. I never forgot that. I really and truly never forgot that. So anyways, I got to know her entire family. She has a lot of kids, like 10 kids. You want to get your glasses? Okay. Like 10 kids and like 42 or 44 grandkids and a bunch of great grandkids. And a lot of her grandkids my kids were, raised up with them, in the ministry. Because I met her in '02, and I think she closed down maybe in when did I close down? 2017? So maybe 2015. So she was next door to us for a long time. She had a lot of units and she had less units. Same with us. We had a couple of buildings and then we had one building. Eventually she opened up like a real church, a storefront church. And that went on, I want to say maybe from 2010 to about 2014, 2015. It was fantastic. Me and Joe were big members in the church. We were like her right-hand man in the church. Let me interject into the video really quickly, guys. I came inside to find this photo album because it says 2006. And I knew I would find pictures of her in here, and I found one so far. I'm going to look for the rest and show you guys. This is one of her backyard barbecues that we used to attend. But the reason why I came in is not just for the pictures. I wanted to find these two plaques. So remember I told you guys that me and Joe were her right-hand man in her ministry. So she gave Joe a plaque one year to Brother Joe. See right here? And then she gave me a plaque to Lady Barbara. She called me and this one other lady in the ministry. This other lady was from Africa. She called both of us ladies. So Lady Barbara, Lady Jerry. And she said it's because she felt like we were royalties. Miss Woods wasn't African, but she was African American. So let's get back into the video. And she taught a prosperity message. She was the one that taught me that the 23rd Psalm is not about funerals and death. It's about prosperity. Didn't even know that. She's the one that taught me that trouble knows your name, your social security number, and your address.
She wasn't lying about that.
Yeah, so make sure you celebrate every aspect of life because trouble will find you. She taught us that. And she lived it. Right, Joe? Mm-hmm. She lived it. So she celebrated every 4th of July. They had big backyard cookouts, stuff like that. We attended a lot of those. When I had a party right here for, I think it was my birthday, 2013, and Jada's graduation from high school in 2014. She was right here. If I can find footage, I'll cut away to the footage for you. And just here having a good time. Her daughters would come to our events. I'm friends with them. The last time I saw her was November 2021 when they had a birthday party / memorial type thing for one of her granddaughter who had passed a couple months prior. She lost 3 grandkids in 2021. 3. And still, she still had her happy-go-lucky way about her. Every time you would ask her how she's doing, she would say, "I'm marvelous," like Billy Crystal. Even to the end, a friend went to go see her and she said, "I'm marvelous." I didn't get a chance to go see her. When I found out she was ill was last Friday, and we tried to go Saturday, but they were moving her. They didn't end up moving her till the Monday. I'm taping this today, Wednesday the 17th, when she passed. And nobody was responding to tell us where she was at. I think it was in the transition, the move, you know what I mean? So in any case, 3 of her daughters texted me today to tell me that she passed this morning early. It was a very short illness. I don't want to speak on what it was because I truly don't know the whole story, and it's not my story to tell. But she literally went into the hospital 2 Fridays ago and they gave her 2 weeks. Right, Joel? Mm-hmm. So Friday would have been the 2 weeks. The last time I spoke with her was her birthday. March 29th of this year. She turned 81, and I asked her when was she going to have that birthday party, because she was supposed to have her birthday party when she turned 80, but she had another illness at that time, and she took a couple of weeks to get over it. And when she got better, the birthday had already passed, and so they canceled it. At first it was postponed, then it was canceled. And the birthday was going to be a big soiree, right, Joe? It was going to be a week. We're going to go to Disneyland. We're going to go to Vegas. We're going to do this. We're going to go to the backyard cookout, yada, yada. Oh, my God, it was going to be a big deal. And so I said, when are we having this party again? And she says, I guess when I turn 85. She should have had her party this year, huh, Joe? She should have had her party. Yeah, so she's a YouTuber. Her YouTube name is, you probably see it in the title, at Grandma Dorothy's Kitchen, because her name is Dorothy. When she made her YouTube channel is after I made mine, a few months after I made mine, because she was already writing books before I started to write books. And then when I wrote my weight loss, weight gain, weight loss book, she's like, I have a lot of manuscripts under my bed that I want to produce, right? So she went with that first company that I used to produce a couple of her books, Ex Libris. Then when I found that crook, the one that's stealing my royalties, she went with him for a lot of her books. So the discussion that we had the ending of March was, are you going to fight with me you know, you're gonna fight this man's wife with me. And she's like, yes, we're gonna fight. So anyways, when she saw that I wrote my cookbook, she's like, I could write a cookbook too. So she wrote her cookbook. She produced it with that guy. That guy never gave her a dime. At least I got 2 checks out of him. Right, Joe? Never gave her a dime. So then she went ahead and she wanted to do her cooking show. So she gave me the money and she says, whatever camera you have right now, go buy me one. And so I went to, I don't know what camera it was at the time. I started with a Samsung and then I quickly switched to Nikon or something like that. So it was the second camera that I had. And I went to go buy it for her. And I showed her how to use it. She wanted the exact camera that I had because she knew that I knew how to use it, and she wanted me to teach somebody how to use it so they could film her. So I taught one of her workers. She had workers from the ministry, and that worker was helping her with the channel. And we came up with the name, right? But we didn't come up with Grandma Dorothy. We came up with Dorothy's Kitchen. Then her grandkids told her to change it to Grandma Dorothy's Kitchen. So I think in her, what do you call the thing up top, Joe? The URL. When you look in her URL at her channel, it's going to say Dorothy's Kitchen, but then they change the name later. And then what else? I made her first banner for her channel. I taught the guy how to run the camera. I told her where to stand in her kitchen where the light comes in right through the window. And she started, I was the one that told her that after every clip that you do for the cooking channel, smile. You see me when I do my show, I'm like, and I'll be right back. And I smile, and I said because it's easier to edit out of a smile than to edit out of a frown. Because sometimes when you don't end your segment with a smile, you kind of end like, and you kind of look mad or you know, or sad, huh?
I said, okay.
Yeah, I'm the one that told her that. But then she overdid it. Whenever she would be finished with her segment, she did. It's so funny.
She making up for all the time she never smiled.
I don't think there was ever a time that she didn't smile. She overdid it. So we never actually did a collab on camera. And I think in 2017, when YouTube was saying, you need to collab, I asked her, let's collab. And we had it planned, but then she had to go to Vegas to see her son. When she came back, it just didn't happen. And I don't pursue things. That's my thing, right, Joel? If I say, let's do it, and you say yes, I don't go back and pursue it. So we never did a collab. And yeah. She has her own audience. I have my own audience. The people who follow her are into the scriptures and into soul food. The people who follow me are into more, you know, everyday bare pantry type food and Belizean food. And also the people who follow me might be into a little bit of ratchetness, because sometimes I get a little bit ratchet. She never did on her channel. She never got ratchet. So I see a lot of people on her last video. She put up, the last video was 4 months ago. I don't know why. Every now and again she would take a long break from YouTube, and it wasn't because she was sick or anything. It's because she didn't have somebody to film for her, edit for her, upload for her, stuff like that. And she could learn that, you know, Joel. She could learn that. She didn't want to. She started as a sharecropper's daughter and as a sharecropper herself, and she didn't have any like formal education, but in her adult life she went straight from no high school diploma to high school diploma to associates to bachelor's to master's to doctorate. She was a whole doctor. So somebody who used to work for her, when I called and told the person that she was ill, that person got a chance to go see her because she went right away. We didn't move quick. And I didn't even think of going, because sometimes when it's illness and people are getting shocking bad news back to back to back, they don't really want to deal with outsiders, right? But this lady went because she used to be her employee. The lady was her employee. She went over there and she said, I asked her, what are you doing in this hospital bed? How are you? And she goes, I'm marvelous. But she said she was very weak. In any case, that lady, the employee, told me that one of the daughters told her that she was not afraid. That Dorothy was not afraid. That, you know, whatever she preached, she truly practiced it right up to the bitter end, knowing that God has the final say and that no matter what happened, she would be okay. That's what she said, Joe. Mm-hmm. That's what she said.
I know she would say that.
Do you have any stories of her that you wanted to tell, Joe?
I guess you say it all.
I said it all? Mm-hmm. Huh? Mm-hmm. You want to tell the story at that time when you and her had a big fight? Huh? Remember that big fight? Huh?
No, not a big fight, just a misunderstanding.
It was a big fight. Let me tell you. You guys have time for a
Just
story?
misunderstanding, folks.
Let me tell you. It's funny. She had this worker that would come over all the time and borrow Joe's stuff, his pallet jack, his rope, everything. And that guy was a nice guy, but he was something else. He would use Joe rope until the rope unplaited itself and was frayed to smithereens. And Joe would get so mad, like, buy your own rope, Mike. So he borrowed Joe's pallet jack one time and left it outside. So long story short, we found the pallet jack at one of the neighbors. Thank goodness. But Joe went over to Dorothy and said, look, don't send your workers over to my door anymore to borrow my stuff because Mike's sickening. Every time he come and borrow my stuff, yada, 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 and Joe's going off, the way Belize people talk, fast. And she goes, I didn't send him over there, but she totally did. I didn't send him over there to borrow your stuff. And Joe says, when God give me my tools for me to use, he gave it to me for me, not for me and you. And then she said, okay. And so after that, Mike came and apologized because Mike figured, oh my God, I'm going to break up the friendship. And then later she apologized and she goes, you know what? I should have stopped Mike. I didn't necessarily send him, but I didn't necessarily stop him. And you're right. When God gave you your tools for you to use, he gave it for you, not for me and you. Right, Joe? Big fight. Big fight.
It wasn't a fight.
And she was still our pastor. That's how the relationship was, though, So, last conversation we had was a good conversation. She called when Joe's dad died in January to give condolences and to ask if we needed anything. And then I called her for her birthday in March, so January and March. And both conversations were great conversations. So that's what I can remember of her. And I was saying earlier that a lot of people on her page are asking, where's she at? Family, please come tell us something. I don't feel like it's my place to go right on her page, anything, but I can make my own video because she was truly a friend since 2002, and now it's 2023. Help me with that. 21 years?
Something like that.
21 years of friendship.
You know what? This is good, but I'm getting burning up out here.
You're getting nice and toasty?
I'm sweating now.
And the dog's over there watching you. You guys, if the lawnmower... I would have cut away the segments in this video if I had the footage, okay? But if the lawnmower is too loud, I'm going to have to retape this in the office after Jada leaves. But I'm going to go try to edit this now and see what's going on. So I guess, I'll keep you up to date if we end up going, if they have a service, if we end up going, I'll let you guys know. But I just wanted to thank you for the prayer. The family thanks you for the prayer because I told them I had a lot of people praying. And God had the final answer and he called her home, all right? Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye,
Bye.
people.
If you like what you saw here today, guys, consider watching one of my other videos, right?